Here we are again for our work-life pivot session of what's going on in the world of work and life and everything else in between,
The remote working life.
the remote work and life. So, what Dave and I thought we'd do today, we've been sharing about what we've observed in the past couple of weeks of now that 2021 is underway. We've been sharing what others have experienced. We thought we'd share a little bit about what we're going through. We're all part of this journey too.
Yeah.
I don't profess to be an expert at all, but I
Yeah.
think we've had enough tools in our toolbox over the years that we can have at least look at it.
Well, I think I always like the old saying, "Physician, heal thyself first." And I think if we can do things to make things better for us, we can also use those and make those available to other people. So I just recently finished writing 7 ways to reduce stress in the remote workforce. So I thought maybe we could run through these quickly and talk about what we're doing with it, and maybe even find some new things. Is that all right with you?
That sounds great. I think it's a really good thing to discuss because it certainly fits under our headline here. You have these 7 tips, but it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah, everybody has to do this differently. So, number one for me was pause the work email and social media notifications. I think we could be a lot better with that. I'm so tired of hearing that ding dong in the background. Oh, I got to run over and check. What is that now? And it's usually just some robocall or some junk. It's really like a constant disappointment. But I think if we could put that on hold, it'd be a good idea. What do you think?
Absolutely. There were several apps I have that had notifications when I first downloaded them. It's like the first thing they do is beep, beep,
Ding
beep.
dong, ding dong.
And I turn all of those off.
Yeah,
That
good.
doesn't mean that I'm not distracted, but I can, and I don't have my phone on vibrate. I can see what's happening, but if I'm not expecting something that's important, I don't answer and let it go to voicemail. So that's something that has using the app capabilities in a better, smarter way.
Well, I've got an app that I use called La 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 La. Find something else. Listen to some music.
The
Anyway,
old school app.
number two is your favorite, exercise.
Yes.
And we've done, I think, a good job with that. I try and get the bike ride in. I try and go for a walk. I've been working on stuff for my Parkinson's anyway, but I think exercise is an excellent way to deal with, stress. Sitting around and all day in the house trying to get things done will drive you nuts.
Definitely. And what it does for me, it's kind of like a mind flush, and we talked last time about the worker stress types. And my stress type is that I can get everything bottled up in my head. And if I'm exercising, I can only think about, especially, with my tool, exercise of choice is the Peloton bike, and I ride pretty intensely. I
Yeah.
can't think of anything else but finish the ride.
And you always seem to have a smile on your face when you're done. So,
Either that or I'm trying to breathe.
number three is a good one for me because it has to do with my stress type. Number three is get a plant. Get something you can grow. See, remind yourself that the earth is still turning. My choice has been sprouts. I started with alfalfa sprouts, then I did mung bean sprouts. Now I got a crop of radish sprouts. But the thing that's good about it is when you get a plant, you can go talk to the plant. I got that green stress. I need to communicate. So I've been talking to my sprouts.
Oh, they're great. I enjoy them. So they're not only it's a like a side gig, but they're great to eat. They're very healthy, and so yeah. Thanks for doing that.
Next one, number four, is vent when necessary. And we've never had any trouble with that. We certainly do it when it's necessary, even when it's unnecessary. But I think having a time, I think it might be a good idea to set aside a vent time every day. From 4 to 4:30 or something. Okay, let's have it.
Yeah, I think, well, what I think I've learned, and we've had some conversations even with our kids about this, is to be able to realize, have the awareness that there's something that has pushed a button or something that, and this is all unknown, this space. And I
Yeah.
think the other thing is that people thought, well, the calendar turned to 21, going back, right? Back to that old 2020 and before, uh,
Magic.
not happening. So I think what that allows us to do is to think of new practices that we can put in place
Right.
around behaviors.
Right. Right. Make it okay to have the feelings you have.
Absolutely.
Just don't bottle them up. Next one is avoid stimulants. I've been trying to do that for a while because I get nervous anyway with the Parkinson's, but I think it's too easy to hit the coffee, have a Diet Coke, have a Diet Coke. There's so many things that have stimulants in them that are hidden. When you're not traveling, you're not moving, you're not getting out of the house as much as we used to. That feeling of being kind of trapped by the COVID epidemic. You got to watch out for those stimulants. It gets you all hopped up and there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. I still have that in my toolbox.
Well, you're going for that bulletproof stuff. I think that's pretty good, actually. Seems to
Yeah.
calm you down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Number
What?
six. Number six is a favorite one of mine. Engage in something that you love. Believe it or not, I'm having a blast doing crossword puzzles. Not only am I filling out crossword puzzles, I got some software that allows you to make crossword puzzles. So get ready to see some work-life stress reduction crosswords coming your way.
Fabulous. Yeah, I love those. So that'll be a good thing to add to the list.
Do you engage in something you love once in a while
Um, well,
besides work, which you love? I know you do.
yeah, I love coming up with new ideas and new approaches to help people, which I think, I really love it. On top of that, when you talk about binging and, what are some of the things that you enjoy? When I feel like I put in the time and I've got a good list of, items on the list accomplished, finding a new binge
Netflix.
show is a treat. And we
Yeah.
found some good ones over.
Yeah.
Another Facebook Live. Maybe we'll
So
do it.
then number seven, the great one that we're doing was real well with is meditate. Find ways to use the Calm app, or we've been doing that thing at night where we listen to the music and the sounds and the sort of meditation. It's really helped a lot. I think it just brings
Yeah.
everything down about 5 levels. Like, oh, okay, I know the world is in total disarray, but at least right here in my little space, I can make things calm and focused and be able to get back in touch.
Yeah, it's a really soothing way, and most of the times I wake up and realize that it's done and I'm asleep. But that's good.
Believe me, I've noticed that.
That's a good thing, and I like the fact that they ask you before you don't have to answer it, but before you even hit the button of let's go to the meditation, is they ask you, how are you feeling? And you get emojis, content, confused, angry, relaxed, tired. And I don't know what happens to all those. I haven't looked at them beyond just clicking one or two if I feel like it. But I think it's a good way to kind of get your head on straight before you put your head down.
Someday, some archaeologist 1,000 years from now is going to dig up all those emojis and say, "Oh my God, this must be their religion or their gods or something."
The emoji masterpiece.
Yeah, the
Well,
emoji culture.
I love that list. I think that's a really great way to kind of take a look at where everything is at, and how can we tap into all these things that are going on.
Well, I think it's like you say. I think it's a matter of coming up with new practices, new expectations. The things that worked for us 5 years ago aren't going to work anymore in this kind of a situation. So we have to find new practices and new pathways to being able to stay productive and stay on top of things.
Absolutely, and I think what you just mentioned with all of this list of 7 ways to really get in front of the stress,
Yeah.
not let it get ahead of you.
Yeah. Well,
And that
you said to me in the past that I've asked you if I can beat this thing. You said I don't know if you can beat it, but you can stay ahead of it.
Absolutely. So I think and it gives us the feeling of being somewhat capable and not so much in control, but we have opportunities to manage and juggle these various things that come our way. And I think my final one that we shared last time was get up, get dressed, and get going. It's so important that I've talked to several friends, family, clients in the middle of the afternoon, and I think it's happening more so now. They're just lounging. They're kind of, checked out. And I think it's important to stay checked in, and whatever that looks like. I'm talking with organizations about how is this impacting um, their employees. This, because I really do think that people didn't expect this to be going on as long as it is. So
Yeah.
it is. It's what we have to deal with, and we're in it together. We'll get through it. So, anything else you would add for closing?
No, just I think we can also practice the check in and check out. So, check out with a one word check out, I'd say um, energized.
Yeah, my word would be inspired. I
Good.
think there's a lot of opportunity coming on the other end of this. I like the articles I've seen come through. I have on the Trello board, a project management board, I have a whole list of ideas and articles. I mean, I'm never at a loss for ideas, but I think if we have them one place and you see these articles that are coming up and coming to us, very interesting, and they're covering things like, if I have my list in front of me, I just got off a call, things like, this is the 2021 Global Human Capital Trends list.
Wow.
And designing work for well-being, moving away from the concept of balance, beyond reskilling and unleashing worker potential, super teams where work happens. So I would go back and look at that as a Scrum model we've talked
Mhm.
about in the past.
Yeah.
Setting new directions for work in the workplace. So I think those are some topics we can cover in future netcasts here.
Yeah.
So,
I think I saw one article they talked about re-architecting work.
yeah,
I like that. The idea of restructuring work. So much of our ideas of how work gets done are really archaic. They don't even make sense anymore.
yeah, and I think too the other articles that I've seen are that the corporate leaders, the CEO level, are really aligning with the idea of a strong purpose,
Yeah.
but the rest of the teams who are in the trenches kind of put that in the background because they're so stressed. They've got so many things to try to get ahead of. But I think if we can, it sounds simple, but it's not. If we can align with what that purpose, mission, vision is, then that's the compass.
Mhm.
That's what helps through these times of uncertainty.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to think of being able to work on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we'll wrap this one up, and
Sure.
thank you for those who are on and listening. And any comments, please feel free to share. We love to hear from you, and click on our website here to get added to our news.
Breathe.
Yes, and breathe. Bye, everybody.